Hi, I'm Steph. Welcome to Online Yoga School. Please subscribe to our channel so that you can get updates when we post more videos like this one. And after you do the practice, I would love to hear how it goes for you. Let's take the conversation into the comments. So I'll see you there. This yoga practice is kind of a cozy practice designed for those days where you know that you need movement, but you feel a little bit of mat resistance. It's yoga for when you don't want to practice yoga. So we're going to need 2 blocks for this practice, and let's begin. Set the 2 blocks to the side to begin. We're going to need those a little later. Let's start by laying flat on the back. Take a deep inhale through the nose and sigh it out the mouth. Let it go. Now begin to breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Let the eyes gently close if that feels good as you set an intention for your practice today. And let's start by hugging the knees into the chest. And as you hug the knees into the chest, grab a hold of the knees, the front of the shins. Maybe rock a bit side to side if that feels good. Notice, if you can, feel the back of the pelvis along the mat as you rock side to side. And as you inhale, come through center. Keep the right leg hugging in and extend the left leg long along the mat. Interlace the fingers around the right shin or hamstring as you pull the right thigh in towards the right side of the rib cage, almost at a diagonal, like the right knee is moving towards the right shoulder. And from here, let's start to take some ankle rolls in both directions. And once you pause that movement, keep the knee bent, but release the hands. Maybe extend the arms out to the sides. Then it's as if you could draw an O in the sky with your knee. We're going to make some big hip circles, keeping the knee bent, just circling out through the hip socket. And after you've gone in one direction a few times, take it in the other direction. And these hip circles can really be as big or as small as it feels right for you. Then we'll pause in the center, bend the left knee, and bring the sole of the left foot flat onto the mat as the outer right ankle comes to the top of the left knee, left thigh for reclined pigeon. So maybe the left foot floats and the right hands interlace around the back of the left thigh, drawing the left thigh in closer towards the face, the body. Take a few breaths here as you press the right knee open. And then begin to straighten the left leg, pressing the left heel gently towards the sky. So the left thigh presses into the hands, and use that force to lift the head and the shoulders, engage the belly, gazes towards the knee or maybe the toes. On an exhale, lower the shoulder blades and the back of the head to the mat. Slowly bend the knee and set the foot flat to the mat. Keep what you have with the leg shape as you lower the arms. And then we're going to place the left hand towards the lower part of the right shin to help guide the right foot over towards the left side of the body. And once the right foot lands, extend the right arm up and alongside the right ear. And imagine someone comes behind you and gently guides the right hand down. So you're really creating some space here. See if you might feel a bit more openness and space along the right side of the hip. And then on an exhale, let it go. Hug the knees back in towards the chest. So we're going to keep the left knee bent and extend the right leg long along the mat. You can hold the left shin in and guide the left leg in over to the side, almost like the left knee is moving towards the left shoulder. So the hands may hold on to the shin. You might have the thigh, whatever feels good. And then we'll take some ankle rolls in each direction here. Just working the tension out of the ankle joint. Pause here, keep what you have with the leg, and release the arms down to the side. Slide the leg forward a bit, and then begin to take those big hip circles again. So the knee is going to stay bent, and we're trying to draw the letter O into the sky above us as we take slow hip circles. And then reverse the direction of those hip circles. Work a little bit of tension out of the hip socket. And then we'll pause in the center. Bend the right knee so that the sole of the right foot comes flat to the earth. The outer left ankle comes to the top of the right knee, right thigh, coming into reclined pigeon. You can stay here, or maybe you float the right foot. And then the fingers can interlace behind the right thigh, maybe hug the right leg into the chest as the left knee presses open a little bit here. And then we'll begin to straighten the right leg towards the sky, right thigh pressing into the basket of the hands. Using that, begin to lift the head and the shoulders so the gaze is towards the knees, maybe towards the toes. And then slowly release. Rebend the right knee. Lower the right foot. Extend the arms to the sides, but keep what you have with the shape of the legs. Right hand comes to the left shin to help guide the left foot over to the right side of the body. And as the left foot lands, the left arm is going to extend alongside the ear. Let the left hip crease reach away from the left shoulder so that you can open up a little space along the left side body. And just breathe right here. And then we'll release and hug the knees into the chest. Slide the hands underneath the knees and begin to rock up until you find yourself in a cross-legged seated position. Easy pose. On an inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, we're going to come into a twist. So the left hand is going to come onto the right shin, right thigh, and the right hand is going to come behind us for support. Inhale to find some length, and exhale to rotate a bit deeper, maybe turning the chin towards the right shoulder. Keep what you have and lift the back right arm so that the thumb is pointing up towards the sky. From here, begin to rotate the thumb down towards the mat. Flip the palm as you rotate to your own degree. So you get that internal rotation of the shoulder. Then we're going to turn that back around as the thumb reaches up to the sky and maybe the palm flips to face towards the sky or behind us, externally rotating the shoulder. We'll do that again, leading with the thumb. The thumb turns down and back as we internally rotate. And then the thumb turns forward and up, maybe even back behind you for external rotation. And then find neutral. Take an inhale. Reach the right arm up and forward towards the left knee. Slide the hands to cup both knees as you tuck the chin in towards the chest and just bow in on yourself, rounding slightly. Maybe lift the knees, scoop the tailbone, and then lower the knees down. Unravel yourself, and we're going to reach the arms overhead on an inhale. As you exhale, begin to twist right hand towards the left shin, left thigh, maybe left knee. Left hand anchors behind you. Inhale to find some length in the spine. Exhale to rotate a bit deeper, chin moving towards the left shoulder. Keep what you have, and then let the left arm float with the point. Inhale, find some length in the spine. Exhale to rotate a bit deeper, chin pointing towards the left shoulder. Keep what you have and lift the left arm, thumb pointing up towards the sky. As you inhale, slowly begin to rotate the thumb down, internally rotating the shoulder, guiding the palm down back behind you. And as you exhale, begin to rotate the thumb up, palm flipping up to face maybe behind you, external rotation. And again, lead with the thumb reaching down and maybe back to internally rotate. And one more time, we externally rotate as the thumb moves up and possibly back behind you again. Pause in neutral as the left arm then reaches up on an inhale and forward towards the right knee. Slide both hands to cup both of the knees as you tuck the chin, curl in on yourself, round a little bit, and then press through the outer feet. Drop the chin towards the chest. And let's release. Inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So we're going to come into tabletop on hands and knees. Shoulders stacking right over the wrists and hips right over the knees. Extend the legs back one at a time, stepping into plank pose. And then we're going to shift the hips back into downward facing dog. So this is the first down dog of our class today. And in your down dog, you're going to bend just the right knee and press the left heel back and down as close to the mat as you can, feeling a stretch in the back of the left leg. Take the right knee, point it towards the left side of the room. And as you anchor down against the left palm, lift the left hip crease up and back just to feel a little more space in the left side waist. Pivot your way back to center, knees forward, and then we'll switch sides. So bend the left knee and extend the right heel back and down as close to the mat as possible. And then begin to point the left knee in towards the right side of the room. Press down into the right palm, lift the right hip crease up and back, and feel that openness on the right. Then come back through center. From here, bend both knees and press the chest towards the thighs, lengthen through the spine as both hands are anchored down. And then glide forward into plank pose on an inhale. As you exhale, lower only the knees, the chest, and the chin. Coming into Ashtangasana. And in the inhale, swim the chest through the arms and release the legs, coming into Cobra pose. As you exhale, shift back, Child's pose. Sit on the heels, arm reach forward. Take a moment here with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step the right foot between the hands, lower down on the back left knee. So the hands can come onto blocks here, or the fingertips may stay grounded. Let the pelvis drop down and forward and peel the chest up, spread across the collarbone. As you exhale, start to shift the hips back into half split. Only here for a breath. And then let's begin to wave back and forth. So inhale, shift forward into your low lunge. Maybe hands on blocks, maybe on the mat. Exhale, shift the hips back, straighten the right leg. Hands may walk with you or they may stay put. Again, inhale, shift the pelvis down and forward. Lift the heart. Exhale, shift the hips back. Inhale, rebend in the knee. Lift the arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the sides as the tips of the shoulder blades move forward to the sternum and the heart lifts. Inhale, both arms reach up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands. And inhale, step back into plank pose. Exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, hug the knee in towards the chest as you come through, stepping the foot between the hands, drop down on the back right knee. Hands may come onto blocks or fingertips may stay grounded. So the hips shift down and forward as the chest lifts and expands wide through the collarbones. Exhale, wave your way back to half split, straightening out through the leg. Inhale, shift the hips forward. Coming into that low lunge variation. Exhale, straighten the legs, shift the hips back. Keep moving with the breath. Blocks may come with you, or maybe the hands stay grounded. Inhale, lunge forward. Send the arms up overhead, grow forward. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the sides as you lift and lengthen away from the hips, turning the heart towards the sky. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank pose. Exhale, shift the hips back, downward facing dog. From down dog, glide forward on an inhale into plank. Knees, chest, chin. On an exhale, we lower down. Inhale, the chest pulls through the arms, Cobra pose. Exhale, back, Child's pose. Send the hips back. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. One more inhale here. And exhale. And let's meet back in downward facing dog. Curl the toes and send the hips up and back. And this time we slowly walk forward towards the front of the mat. Come into a standing forward fold. So separate the feet about hips width. Just enough space for the two fists to come between the feet. And once you come to this place, interlace the hands behind the back. Begin to straighten the arms as the interlaced fingers drip overhead, shoulders gliding down the back. So the crown of the head moves towards the toes, knees may be soft, the navel lifts, and we really drive the heels down as the sit bones lift towards the sky. Keep what you have and bend just the left knee and the right knee straightens as you twist to open the chest towards the right. Back through center. Now bend the right knee, drop the right shoulder toward the right knee, and the left leg straightens as you twist to open the left chest and look out over the left shoulder. Come through center, place the interlaced hands to rest right at the low back. Create fists with the hands and use the fists to pad out the low back. Maybe the fists start to move towards the hips, the glutes, the hamstrings. You may lift the chest and make some space to tap through the quadriceps, fronts of the thighs, and then the fists pad out through the shins, the calves, eventually down towards the feet. We release the fists. Inhale, flat back extension, lengthen long. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise to stand. Circle the arms up overhead as you lengthen. Exhale, palms come together at heart center. From here, begin to float the left foot any amount, rooting down through the right foot. And drop step the left foot back, warrior two. So front heel lines up with back arch. Front knee bends, heart stacking over pelvis. Arms comes out like a T, collarbone spread wide. Flip the front palm to the sky on an inhale. Lean back, reverse your warrior. Left hand finding its place somewhere along the left leg. As you exhale, wave into a modified sine eagle. So the front forearm anchors on the front thigh. Left arm reaches up and alongside the ear. Rotate the thumb so that it turns upwards. So the thumb again being a point of reference for the internal rotation of the shoulder head. Keep sending energy into the back foot so we're not dumping into the front foot. One more breath here. Gaze downward and then plant both hands down on either side of the right foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot. Come onto the back toes. Drop the back knee down. Keep the back toes curled under as we straighten the right leg. Walk the hands back, maybe with blocks. And then we come to sit on the left heel. And once you get there, rock a bit side to side. So we're rolling from the big toe side to the pinky toe side, stretching out the foot, working into the fascia. And then we walk the hands forward, but keep the right leg straight as you release the top of the back foot. Slide the right heel over to the left, so the leg is at a bit of a diagonal. Then walk the hands over to the right, maybe with blocks. You may choose to pick up the back foot and swing it over to the left a bit to protect the knee. So the front foot begins to roll a bit, so the outer edge of the front foot comes to the mat, so that the pinky toe side of the foot comes to the mat. And from here, imagine you could isometrically drag the right foot towards the right hip, touching into the IT band all the way to the outer hip. Breathe here. And when you start to unravel and come to face forward, walk the hands to the center. Keep what you have with the legs, but begin to bend the right knee and set the front foot flat as you slide the back leg in. Tuck the left shin behind the right foot, finding a seat, setting up for Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. So place the right hand back behind you for support. Left arm reaches up on an inhale. Left hand may come onto the right knee, right thigh, or maybe you hook the left elbow outside the right knee. Inhale to find length. Exhale to rotate a little deeper. And we sit with this for a breath. On an inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, let's counter that twist by placing both hands towards the left side of the mat and maybe drop the head as you take the twist to the other side. Back to center, bring both hands forward, and then we step forward, crossing the feet, and begin to straighten the legs. So the left foot slides forward and tucks behind the right foot. Walk the pinky toe sides of the feet a bit closer. And walk the hands over to the right as you nudge the hips to the left. Maybe even try to wrap the right hip back in space, just to get a little bit more opening in the left side waist. Take a breath here. Walk the hands back to center, unravel the feet, coming into a forward fold. And then we'll bring the hands up to the hips and slowly we roll up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hands meet at heart center. So from here, begin to float the right foot any amount and then drop step the right foot back into warrior two pose. So the front heel aligns with back arch, front knee bends, hips open towards long edge of the mat, heart stacks over hips, crown of head stacks over the heart. Arms are open. From here, flip the front palm to the sky, lean back, reverse your warrior on an inhale. Find open through the left side body. As you exhale, begin to glide into modified side angle. So the left forearm anchors onto the front left thigh. Right arm reaches long alongside the ear. Turn the thumb up so that you see the eye of the elbow look towards the top of the head, and the upper arm kind of rotates inward. Seal off through the back foot to send energy there. One more deep breath. Send the gaze down and then frame the front foot with the hands. Maybe get your blocks. As you pivot and come onto the back toes, drop down on the back knee and begin to walk the hands back. Shift the hips back until you notice that you're sitting on the right heel. So the right toes are curling under, and then we just shift side to side here as you gently feel into the sole of that right foot. Even try to reach like all 5 of the toes into the ground here. And then from the space, start to walk the hands forward. Keep the left leg straight. Slide the heel a little forward. Release the back toes. Take the left leg slightly to the right at a diagonal as you walk the hands to the left. And you can take the blocks. The back foot may swing off the edge of the mat so you're not twerking the back knee. And then root the left heel down and begin to roll onto the pinky toe side of the foot. And isometrically drag the left foot in towards the left sit bone as we breathe right here. Then walk the hands forward. Step onto the sole of the left foot, bending the left knee as the back leg drags in, tucks behind left foot, and we find a seat for half Lord of the Fishes. Left hand comes back behind us for support. Inhale for length. Right arm reaches up. May come onto left thigh, left knee, or maybe the right elbow hooks. Wherever you are, inhale to find length. Lift the belly. Exhale, go a bit deeper, coming into the twist. And then we release, and we'll counter this by bringing the hands over to the right. Maybe drop the head, twist the other way. And then face forward, and we come into that standing forward fold. So step into the left foot, right foot tucks behind the left, pinky toe sides of the feet come in closer. We walk the hands a bit left, shift the hips a bit right, wrap the hip back. Imagine that you could get the nose to touch the outer left knee, head relaxes, and then walk the hands in front of the feet. Unravel the feet for a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold back in. And this time, let's step back into downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Take a few moments here in downward facing dog, stretching out through the body, lengthening from the tailbone through the crown of the head. And then we slide forward to plank, drop down on the knees, crawl the knees toward the hands, cross the ankles, roll back onto the sit bones as you extend the legs out in front of you. Grab the blocks to support you in this next shape. So we're gonna extend the legs out to the sides like a V, coming into Upavista Konasana, seated wide angle forward fold. Let me turn so y'all can see me. So I like to start by moving all the fleshy stuff away from the sit bones so I can feel grounded. And then you kind of roll the thighs open and back. But today we're not going to max out. We're not going to our edge. Today is about being gentle. So in this space, I like to kind of sway back and forth for a while with the breath. Sway a bit to the right, sway a bit to the left. Pause where it feels good. Keep the spine long. And eventually, we sway our way into center and then walk the hands forward and out. And you may pause in this space and you may want to like stack the blocks and bring them under the forearms, or you may go a little deeper and let the blocks support the chest. You may even bring a block under the forehead. It's really a personal choice. So if you want to go down and you have the space, you can, but sometimes it feels really good to just use the support and kind of soften into the pose rather than force yourself to your edge. So make a choice that makes sense for you. And then let the body breathe and soften into the pose. One more deep breath here. Slowly start to make your way out of the pose. Walk the hands in and set the blocks to the side for a moment. Pull the legs in, stretch them forward. If you need to shake them out, whatever feels good for you. And as you bring the legs forward in front of you, bend the right knee and bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left leg, left thigh. So we're going to anchor the left hand outside of the hip. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And as you exhale, lift the belly, navel to spine, lengthen through the chest, and then begin to fold forward. So the right hand is going to reach in at a diagonal towards the pinky toe side of the left foot. You may grab the left thigh, left calf, left ankle, or the pinky toe side of the left foot. Inhale, find a little length, and then as you exhale, reach forward and down. And we're adding this hint of rotation. It's where the right rib cage starts to roll and look towards the left inner thigh, getting more into that low part of the back, the QL. Keep rooting down through the right sit bone. And with the next inhale, lift the head, gaze forward. And then release as you lift the chest. And we're going to switch legs. So extend the right leg long. And then the left leg bends as the left sole of the foot comes into the inner right thigh. Right hand anchors outside of the right hip. Inhale, left arm reaches up to the sky. Engage the belly. As you exhale, reach forward on a diagonal, but really lengthen, 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 lengthen. And then left hand can come onto the right thigh, calf, ankle, pinky toe side of the right foot. Lift again to lengthen on an inhale, and then fold in on an exhale. Bit of a rotation. So the left rib cage is rotating toward the right inner leg line. So we're going to stay anchored and firm against the left sit bone, left thigh, really accessing that lower back stretch here. And with the next inhale, pulse a bit. Lift the head, lift the gaze, and then exhale, deepen in. Keep lifting the belly here. Create that space in the low back. Inhale, lift the head, lift the gaze. Exhale, slowly release. And now we bring the soles of the feet together. And the knees are wide. But today we're going to bring the feet a bit forward. So there's this bigger diamond shape, like more space for us here, right? So ground the sit bones, and then go ahead and thread each arm underneath the calves. And you start to kind of wiggle the torso in the legs a little bit more. And give yourself the space you need here. So you can place the palms flat, or you can cup them over the tops of the feet, whatever feels best. Inhale to lengthen the chest a little further, and then exhale, fold down. And in those final moments of that exhale, you may find that you're rounding a little bit into the spine. So this is another one that is great for the very low back. Think about the navel center drawing in and back up towards the heart to protect you and to create some space in the back body. Take an inhale and slowly start to lift the head up. Release each arm slowly as you can. And then as you exhale, place the hands outside of the knees to gently close the knees in, and we're going to come to lie back on the back. Now, we're going to take these blocks together to make a long block at the lowest height. So they're at the lowest height, but they're coming side by side. Short edges of the blocks line up. And we're going to bring them right under the sacrum, that triangle-shaped bone at the base of the spine. So the blocks together like this give us a wider base of support. So rest here. Let the arms drape alongside the body. The feet are anchored for a moment, but eventually they begin to float. And we start to extend the legs towards the sky. So we want to really soften here and relax. We don't want to flex the feet hard or hyperextend the knees. We just really want to soften into this, soften the knees, relax the feet, relax the toes. And if it feels okay, you could close your eyes and just imagine that you're dangling upside down here. So there's no effort. So this practice combines this idea of effort and ease that we have in yoga. So in yoga, we always have like a little fire, a little effort, a little strength, and then this little bit of ease and relaxation, a little air, a little space. So take a moment here to reverse your blood flow from the legs. Let the blood move back into the heart and the brain. And just let the body breathe. And then super slowly start to bend at the knees, but don't let the feet touch the floor just yet. Kind of hover midair and notice what you might feel. Maybe you feel a little bit of a blood rush come back to the feet, the shins, the toes, and then slowly touch the feet down towards the mat. Press the feet into the mat to lift the hips and slide the blocks off to the side for a moment. And then take one of your blocks and place it in between the inner knees and her thighs. Heel toe the feet a little wide, maybe the width of the mat, and let the knees knock in towards one another. And the block is there to absorb that, to ease the hip flexors a bit. And on an inhale, send both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, cross the right arm over the left. Let the arms drape over the chest. So the fingertips don't need to be active. They don't have to stretch across the back or the shoulders. They're not reaching. Just feel the weight of the arms across the chest. See if you can soften here and just let the body breathe. Then inhale, both arms reach back up. Exhale, left arm crosses over right. Let the arms drape back over the chest. Breathe deeply here and just kind of let the chest press into the arms as you breathe. Inhale, bring both arms to the sky. And then exhale, relax the arms alongside the body. Remove the block, heel toe the feet in a little closer. And we're going to grab both blocks. And this time as we press into the feet to lift the hips, we're going to slide the blocks, both of the blocks, under the glutes. So not the sacrum, not the low back, but actually the glutes. So the blocks may come into some kind of a V shape to fit the body, whatever you need to do. But you want to feel the support of the blocks under the glutes. And once you have that support, bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees splay out wide to the sides. And if you feel this in your low back, just imagine kind of scooping the tailbone a bit to create a little bit of space in the low back. And so with this added support under the glutes, and also the height that we're getting from the blocks, you may be able to feel a lot more external rotation in the hips, kind of getting a sense of stretch in the inner hamstrings, the groins. So just soften into it for a bit. If you like, you can let the eyes close here if that feels good. Take another breath here. And then slowly use the hands to guide the knees in, rolling onto the soles of the feet. Press into the feet to lift the hips and remove the blocks. Slide them over to the side. And when you lower the back of the pelvis down to come into Shavasana, we're going to take the blocks and bring them under the knees or maybe under the thighs for support in Shavasana. And today we're going to take the legs out wider than we normally would in Shavasana. Let the arms relax. And from here, take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top without creating any tension. And then sigh it out the mouth. And again, deep breath in. Hold without tensing. Big sigh out the mouth. And just release into your Shavasana. Allow the breath to be natural. And just absorb the benefits of everything that you've done today. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. Please stay here in Shavasana as long as you can. And the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.